everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Mike O'Donnell. Happy to be with you today from Richmond, Virginia. All right, there are a couple of words that we hear when we come to Richmond. Havoc is one. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I think today we talk about pace more than anything else.
Well, for Rhode Island, the biggest key, it's not just breaking the press, it's how do they control themselves from taking bad shots after breaking the press. Something to really watch for this afternoon.
Gladden's heading towards center court with a nice friendly stroll, and we are ready to go. It's VCU and Rhode Island. These games have been barn burners recently, and the VCU Rams will control the tip. All right, Mike, we're going to see a lot of man-to-man defense today from both of these teams.
A ton, and that's the biggest key to the man-to-man for this game is the inside post play. And again, that's one of the things that's really hurt VCU in the beginning of the season is turnovers. They're going to turn you over, but if they turn it over just as much, there's no reason to balance it out. That's the reason why you're pressing, is to increase your turnover margin.
Yeah, Mike Rhodes told us the other day, so listen, it's not even like we're being defended when we turn it over. These are unforced turnovers.
Strange from a very senior-laden team as well.
A little full court pressure by VCU. That's not the normal havoc that you see from them, but they will be in your face from start to finish. And the whistle blows, or I thought there was a whistle blow. It looked like Tim Comer, the official, pointed inside. He was just warning guys, and there's a turnover for each team now to start the game.
Makes you speed you up, really. That's the toughest thing with this VCU pressure. It's not just in the full court, it's in the half court as well. There's a ton of ball pressure on the pass.
Marcus Evans covered by Fats Russell. We'll watch that matchup. Off the high screen. Van. Jenkins for three. Too strong, and the rebound is run out by Dowtin.
It's actually an excellent closeout by Tyrese Martin of Rhode Island.
Langevine skips it to the corner for Martin. Up top for Russell. Lets it fly. It's good.
That's too much space.
It's amazing. Fats Russell can go anywhere and make that shot.
When you're confident, you become consistent. And that's really Fats Russell's game right now, is he's not just penetrating, he's making outside shots as well.
Van high off the glass, no good. Santos-Silva with the putback with his left hand. It's a 3-2 ball game. Interesting to see how Rhode Island matches up against Santos-Silva. So he's covering Langevine on the defensive end. Backdoor pass to Dowtin. They get it to Martin up top. Langevine, free throw line jumper, too much. Rebound by Sims.
Big point of emphasis in VCU practice yesterday. They will give Langevine that 12-footed contested jumper all day.
Yeah, Langevine for the year at 48% from the floor. But a lot of his shots, if he's successful, are underneath. How about Santos-Silva down to the rim, couldn't finish for the second time already in this first half.
VCU loves that two-man game with Santos-Silva in the pick and roll.
That's Russell, too much off the glass. Harris with the rebound and the putback. It's 5-2 Rhode Island.
How big is Jermaine? How strong? Does he look like a linebacker in college football?
I think he's got even bigger from last year.
Yeah.
And again, he'll be on Santos-Silva defensively. They don't want Langevine to pick up any early fouls.
Rhode Island is not a deep team. They have three players averaging over 30 minutes a game.
There's Sims, little shot fake, teardrop, no good. Off the weak side rebound, Langevine. Russell to Dowtin. Dowtin finds Martin in the corner, open for three. High arcing shot, too strong. And Van with the rebound. Van, who is a scorer at Maine, still scores. Not as much, though. Santos-Silva, low post. Against Langevine. Tries to
time.
And his shot is good. It was Jermaine Harris who was there defensively.
Santos-Silva's a lefty, but he has great ball skills. He can use his right hand as well. Phenomenal footwork for the big fella.
Down low to Harris. Harris tries to jam. No good. Whistle blows and a foul call. We're going to call the foul on Marcus Evans. It'll be his first.
See, one thing about Fats Russell, his game this season, he probably doesn't do that pass last year. He probably takes a floater. Right here, he probably takes a floater last season, but draws two defenders and a good little dish to his teammate.
All right, so how about this move on the other end for Santos-Silva?
Too much space and room to work. You can't give Santos-Silva angles. He might be one of the most improved players in all of college basketball this season. You look at his numbers in just the last few games. I mean, last two games, he's averaging 18 and almost 10 rebounds a game. Had 26 versus George Mason.
We'll check out for a moment. Corey Douglas is in. Mike Rhodes told us the other day how important Douglas has been, just to give Santos-Silva a breather. Harris, the second free throw.
Douglas is important because he led VCU in blocks last season.
He's a big dude.
Tremendous athlete.
Yeah, long arms, long legs. Little pressure by Rhode Island. Jenkins bumped to the baseline. Up top to Evans. Step back three for Evans. Too strong, and the rebound is pulled down by Martin. Martin to Dowtin. Slipped it right through the hands of the defender, and he lays it in.
Beautiful pass by Martin. A bounce pass doesn't work there. He needed a touch pass to go over the defender. That's pretty basketball.
So it's 9-4 Rhode Island on top. Douglas off the front of the rim over top of Harris. I think Harris has to be a little more physical with the big men.
I think he's worried about getting in foul trouble.
Well, that's true.
You know, when you talk about the lack of front court depth for Langevine and Harris, they need to be careful and almost kind of pick their spots.
Antoine Walker's at the scorer's table for Rhode Island. Vince Williams at the scorer's table for VCU. And a foul is going to be called on Jermaine Harris. I think when Les Jones blew his whistle, I think everybody thought it was going to go against VCU.
Certainly looked like it. On a loose ball, I see a little grab onto Mikel Sims a little bit. I'd probably be okay with letting that go.
I was thinking the same thing. Well, Harris will sit as Antoine Walker, eligible now, the redshirt sophomore from DC. Here's this pressure from Rhode Island. It's usually a half-court pressure, but a little bit of a token right now to slow up VCU's offense.
Because now you look at the shot clock, and it's 19 seconds when you initiate. I like that by Rhode Island, trying to control the tempo.
Williams toward the basket, shot blocked away by Walker for Langevine. Here's a three for VCU from Jenkins. It's good.
Yeah, Russell let Jenkins wide open, and Jenkins is one of the better three-point shooters for VCU. You cannot let that shooter give that look.
Shooting 34% from beyond the arc, his 82nd start of his career. He's averaging almost 15 in the last 4 against Rhode Island. Whistle blows, foul on the floor. All right, so both these teams are going to shoot threes this afternoon, and we've seen it so far in their first. That's Russell has made his 1 3-pointer of the afternoon. That's his only bucket. He'll inbound the basketball with 15:20 to play. A little two-man game with Langevine, and a traveling violation called on Langevine. That's the second turnover for Rhode Island.
They had a side out-of-bounds play set up perfectly, and he was wide open in the corner. Just a couple steps. Sometimes the pressure does that, right? You don't know where it's coming. That unforced turnover can really kill you.
All right, so tied at 9. Van, little hesitation, cut off by Walker. Heads toward the hoop, and a pushing foul is going to be called on Rhode Island.
Walker had him. He had him totally walled up, and he gave him angles. It's inside of 10 feet around the rim. Angles is everything. If you can wall up consistently, you're going to be in good position to not get that foul called.
Well, that'll be his first foul, second team foul. Shot clock back to 20. Evans to inbound. Jenkins thought about the three. Back to Evans, back to Jenkins. Slips it out to Williams for 3 off the front of the rim. And a rebound pulled down by Rhode Island and Langevine.
It's good offense for VCU. The extra pass, you got a good look at a 3. You like that for VCU.
And by the way, Langevine now with 3 rebounds. Keep track of it. He's 6th all time at Rhode Island. He has 817 rebounds. He's on pace to be a 1,000-point scorer and 1,000 rebounds in his career.
Just a monster. One of the great players in the history of Rhode Island basketball.
Walker's going to go to the free throw line. He was fouled going strong to the rim by Corey Douglas. That'll be his first foul.
So there's not a lot of weak points in this VCU defense, but if you can exploit when VCU goes for a steal and doesn't get it, you'll have mismatch opportunities. I think it's a great play by Walker of meeting the basketball, right? You've got to do that against pressure. You can't wait for the ball to get to you. If you can meet the basketball and turn and face, you're going to get some of those plays at the rim.
And you have to be aggressive if you're the offensive player when you have those plays, right?
Well, yeah, exactly right, but you can't take bad shots. Right. You've got to be aggressive to make the right play, not just aggressive to score. There's definitely a difference.
They made one, missed one. 1-point lead for Rhode Island. Van up top to Jenkins. We're going to try not to use Rams too often today since both teams are called Rams. Not to confuse everybody, including ourselves. Williams goes up strong, and it's knocked out of bounds by Langevine. With 7 on the shot clock. I think the VCU fans wanted somebody to call the contact.
Similar play on the other end.
David Cox is going to send Jacob Toppin in for the first time. His brother is arguably the best player in the country, no doubt the A10, and Obi Toppin from Dayton.
He's my pick for player of the year. I think he's absolutely incredible, and Dayton should be in the top 10 team by the end of the season.
Island with 2 on the shot clock, no good. Putback, no good. Langevine will take the rebound. 6 minutes into the first half, 10-9 Rhode Island.
So for Rhode Island, no press, you got a rebound, you have an opportunity to run your offense and make VCU work in the half court.
That's Russell double teamed up top. Russell to the free throw line, tries to distribute, ball cut off by Jenkins, and a foul on Walker over the back. The third foul. All right, so this is the brother duo. Obi, much wider, stronger than Jacob, but Jacob's going to be a good player.
I think he's an outstanding athlete. He's really bouncy. And Jacob went to go watch Obi play at Rhode Island last year, and he fell in love with the atmosphere at Rhode Island. He says, hey, I love this atmosphere, and this is a great opportunity for me to kind of pave my own way as well.
Yeah, Dayton will be on CBS Sports Network on Tuesday night. I'll be out there. It'll be VCU and Dayton. Should be a good game. Now whistle blows, a foul away from the basketball. It's going to go against Walker. That's already his third. And we talked about how Rhode Island cannot afford to get into foul trouble.
Right.
They're in foul trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Especially for a player like Walker, he's that Swiss Army knife coming off the bench that you need him to spare bigger minutes for guys like Langevine and Martin and Harris.
Mackay long checks in for the first time. The inbounds goes to Highland, the freshman. Looking for Jenkins up top, open for 3, lets it fly. No good. Santos-Silva tips it into the hands of Toppin. And here comes Rhode Island up 1, 10-9. How about the shot difference for VCU to Rhode Island? 15-6.
Pretty normal for VCU. It's a good offensive rebounding team. They're always trying to attack the rim and get extra possessions.
Graves off the front of the rim for Martin, and here comes VCU in transition. Highland to the corner for Jenkins. Jenkins in the paint. Jenkins back into the paint. Leaner is no good. Rebound is taken down by Langevine. Langevine's going to reach 10 rebounds before the end of the half. Martin tries to slip it in, but then the ball goes out of bounds. And it'll be last touched by VCU.
Tyrese Martin is 6'6", and I understand why players love to do the Euro step, but when you have a smaller defender on you, sometimes you've got to grit your teeth and go straight to the rim, go for that and one, get to the free throw line instead of trying to be too cute.
Yeah, he's averaging 14.5 in his last 5 games. He's got ability.
Yeah, no question.
Russell is being bumped out by Highland. His pull-up jumper from 17, no good. And a foul under the basket. That foul is going to go against Rhode Island. Now look at this defense on Fats Russell.
This is a freshman, Highland. Bones Highland doing a really nice job trying to corral the ultra-quick Fats Russell. This is a huge test for the freshman.
Yeah, Highland called Bones because, well, he's skin and bones. And they need him to get stronger as the years go on. He's a highly touted recruit. A lot of the teams in the Atlantic 10 wanted him. And even teams outside the A10.
Yeah, he was recruited. He had offers from UConn, Boston College, Temple. Fell in love with the Mike Rhodes program and culture of winning.
Santos-Silva up top, the shot clock under 10. Cut off defensively. Curry, shot clock at 5, heads to the basket. Finger roll, no good. It was an easy shot. Now a foul called against VCU. That's going to go against Santos-Silva. All right, so VCU's won 21 straight, which is the 3rd longest active home winning streak. Now Kansas is down double digits, and theirs is at 28.
Well, and they've dominated their last 7 games at home. They've won by an average of 21 points at home. You do not come in to the Siegel Center unprepared.
14 straight wins in the Atlantic 10, but they haven't scored in the last 3.5 minutes. Rhode Island, though, hasn't taken total advantage of it. Under 12 in the first half, Russell heads to the basket, sweeps it off the glass, gets it to go down. It's 12-9, Rhode Island.
We talk about his quickness a lot, but he's a great jumper as well. He can elevate around the rim.
I think I saw that when he was a freshman more than anything else.
Yeah.
Falls out of bounds. Mike Rhodes, the head coach of VCU. David Cox, the head coach of Rhode Island. Maybe not as many points as we expected through 2 media timeouts.
Well, I think Rhode Island is really prepared as again, there's some of that pressure. You're going to get lackadaisical, and surprising to see that from a senior, an ultra-heady player senior, Jeff Dowtin.
Yeah, it's 5 turnovers now for Rhode Island. this is where he got in trouble.
Well, there's a little bit of that three-quarter press that we talked about in the open, to where they will really bait you into throwing lazy passes, because it's not that intense up-in-your-face pressure. It's baiting you to make a relaxed pass, and that's what happened.
And off to Curl, looks in. Off the screen by Santos-Silva. He's cut off. 11:20 to play in the first half. It's been more than 4 minutes since VCU last scored. Santos-Silva trying to end that. It's an air ball on a hook shot, saved by Martin. He passed it to himself, basically. Now Martin heads right to the basket, off the glass, no good, and a foul is going to be called on Curry. A sophomore from Jacksonville.
I really like Martin's game. He's just a sophomore, 6'6", almost getting about 12 a game. And he's the second best rebounder on this Rhode Island team as a sophomore. Just does everything really well. He's good on the defensive end. On offense, he's super efficient. He has the best plus-minus of any Rhode Island player. He doesn't take bad shots. He doesn't turn the ball over. Just kind of Mr. Consistent for Rhode Island.
Well, he makes the first free throw. He's nearly 80% for the free throw line. As a team, Rhode Island at 69%, up by 4. Both free throws are good. It's 14-9. Marcus Evans checks back in for VCU. Highland was going to come back in, but now he sits back down. Santos-Silva on the screen, cut off by Harris, up top to Williams. Williams against Long, heads to the basket, shot blocked by Harris. Loose ball, Santos-Silva gets the roll, and he'll go to the free throw line to attempt a three-point play.
Santos-Silva might have the best motor in all of the Atlantic 10. I mean, he just never stops working. Sets the wide body screen legally, rolls quick. See how quick he rolled to the rim? And you have to put a body on Tom. He's not the best jumper, but he's going to get every ball. So you can't just stand next to him and hope that you're going to out-jump him, because Santos-Silva's going to outwork you.
All right, now for Rhode Island, we talked about foul trouble. That foul which was picked up on that last particular play by Jermaine Harris, he now has 2. And you have Walker with 3. So 2 big men with 5 fouls combined. Santos-Silva to the free throw line. It's good.
And the last thing you want to do is put VCU on the line, because what does that do? It sets up their press, and it's even more work that you have to do.
Well, don't forget, too, they're a pretty good free throw shooting team. They were 18 for 18 at one point in their last ball game. Dowtin this time is able to break the press, so Martin slips it underneath to a cutting Long, who did a great job of reversing field and laying it in.
How about the dump down pass by Martin as well? Good vision by the wing.
4-point lead for Rhode Island. Curry lost control a couple of times. He never really had the handle. Dowtin leading the charge. Dowtin to the corner. Martin for 3. No good. But Dowtin gets the rebound.
Good decision by Dowtin, pulling it out. He also had an opportunity to throw ahead to Martin, but decided to turn that down to get a better open 3. That was a good look. You want to take those open 3s, just have to knock it down.
Shot clock under 10. Langevine up top. Langevine puts it on the deck. Lost control. Shot clock at 3. Shot clock is at 2. Toppin finally realizes it, off the glass, no good. Rebound by Rhode Island. Martin's putback is good. I thought he was going to throw it back out.
That's the MVP of the first half right now for Rhode Island, is Martin just doing kind of that dirty work everywhere for Rhode Island.
He has 3 rebounds to go along with 6 points. Largest lead of the first half. 6-point lead for Rhode Island. Curry wanted to pick and roll with Santos-Silva. It was a little slow. Shot clock at 9. Evans up top for Curry. Curry heads to the basket. Ball knocked out of bounds with 1 on the shot clock. And it's going to wind up being Rhode Island basketball.
It was maybe the best half-court defensive possession for Rhode Island right there. As you take a look, here's them breaking the fast break. That's a great pass by Martin. If you can get it into the middle around the free throw line, and then on the other end, here's Martin again, making things happen. If you're not shooting the ball well, if you're turning the ball over, how do you keep yourself in the game? And Martin is doing that dirty work to keep Rhode Island in this.
There's 3 assists to go along with those 3 rebounds. There he is again. To Toppin, who jams it home. It's 20-12.
That's forehead at the rim, Tom. Do you see how bouncy Toppin is?
Yeah, you're right about that. You said that when the game began, and a timeout called by VCU. Rhode Island with an 8-point lead. Well, sometimes, like everybody else in an arena, we become fans and sit back in awe. We were in awe of this play by Jacob Toppin.
Look at the forehead almost at the rim for Jacob Toppin. I mean, this is an ultra bouncy player. Obi Toppin, what? Let me show you what I can do, the young fella. Toppin it. Wow. Again, that's a great finish by Toppin, kind of showing off his athleticism. But Martin has been the key for Rhode Island. Rebounds, passing, getting those offensive rebound putbacks. I mean, he's the reason why Rhode Island's up right now.
Yeah, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Now a little zone by Rhode Island.
Well, I talked to Coach Cox this morning, and he said, I really feel like if something works, we're going to stick with it. And if it's not, we're going to change it up. So you gave the look at the zone, but now they're switching back to man-to-man.
Santos-Silva back to the basket, double teamed. Outside for Jenkins. Jenkins for Evans. Evans from the baseline. He's cut off. And another turnover forced by Rhode Island. Here comes Martin. Martin heads to the basket. Switches hands as he goes to the hoop. He lays it in. It's a 10-point game. It's an 8-0 run by Rhode Island. Jenkins trying to answer. No good. Partially blocked. Toppin with the board.
This has been the best lineup for Rhode Island, when you can have Martin kind of roaming, doing what he does best. And then Fats Russell, normally I think last season he'd want to take shots because he hasn't been shooting, but he's been more of a distributor this afternoon.
Bounce pass to Dowtin. He couldn't corral it. It was a good look, and now the turnover forced. Jenkins has it. Jenkins for VCU. Leaves it for Evans, and Evans lays it in. I thought he could have finished it, but then Evans had a clearer path to the basket.
I think it's a great extra pass. This is an unselfish VCU team. Marcus Evans is a name that we haven't said enough this afternoon. He came in with a lot of hype to this season. It feels like he's really pressing, trying to force a lot of his shots.
Well, that stabilizes things a little bit for VCU. It's an 8-point game. Foul on the floor. They do not count the basket. A timeout on Santos-Silva's been held in check to a certain extent. He's 3 of 6 from the floor. The key today has been what Rhode Island has put out on the floor. This combination, Tyrese Martin along with Fats Russell. Martin's been really good. He's been a revelation with 6 points, 4 assists to go along with 3 rebounds.
I think Rhode Island's defensive transition has been great. VCU only has 5 points off of Rhode Island's 6 turnovers, doing a really nice job sprinting back.
Well, VCU is able to stop the offensive pursuit there. Here's Evans off the pass from Santos-Silva, and this pass is cut off by Russell. Those are the unforced turnovers that Mike Rhodes talked about that they have to stop.
One of the best steal guys in all of college basketball, Fats Russell.
Dowtin with a tough shot, sweeping toward the baseline. 24-14, 10-point lead again. Evans will pull up for 3. Evans no good. Toppin with an easy rebound. Evans is going to be a 2,000-point scorer in his collegiate career, but he's certainly not the offensive scorer that he was at Rice this year with VCU.
It feels like he's not letting the game come to him. He's always taking contested shots. Now, he can make tough shots, but he's just shooting more of those than he has ever before.
Well, you wonder if the Achilles injuries he's had, if that's slowing him down a little bit. Shot clock at 5 for Rhode Island. Dowtin one-on-one. Dowtin trying to get some contacts.
Great D by Evans.
Really good defense. It's going to be a shot clock violation. All right, so Dowtin trying to do a little too much. How about Fats Russell? Just slip it in.
Sprinting from half court. He got caught up by half court, and then the push in transition leads to Dowtin. Little hesitation. It's not often where you see a left-handed baby hook from a guard. That's old school Tom McCarthy. You know anything about that.
Well, his points are down, but that's what he can bring to the table right there. Williams was open for 3, did not take it. Covered by Toppin up top. Island covered by Russell. Williams with the shot clock down to 5, and there were a couple of defenders there, and the foul called on Rhode Island. We got some guys tied up along the baseline.
I'll tell you right now, Langevine has been in the face of almost every single VCU player. And he is playing tough and loud this afternoon. That's a good move by Williams. Just a really good-looking athlete. Not sure what happened there. It almost looked like Toppin was trying to bend over to help him up, and then It's conference play time.
It's conference play.
I don't like you. You don't like me. Let's just go at it.
Well, these guys have played some tough games recently. The foul is on top, and Williams misses the first free throw. Again, Rhode Island 73% as a team from the free throw line. And the second one is good. Boy, it looked like a different player. First one, second one. 9-point game. Evans on Dowtin. Russell covered by Highland. Hedge out by Douglas. Shot clock under 10. Russell says no. Crosses over. Slips it for Langevine. Off the glass. No good. Putback is good with his right hand.
Again, Russell doesn't get credit for the assist, but I think he takes a bad shot last season. This season, makes the right play and dump down to Langevine.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in his personality that are different. The decision-making is one.
Incredibly mature this season.
Doesn't pout the way he pouted last year, they say. Three is no good. Only 1 3 so far for VCU. Dowtin, his three off the side of the rim. Not the best shot.
I don't think you and I like that shot.
We had a great view of it, too.
Heavily contested. It's not a normal shot that Dowtin will actually take. When you've got VCU on the ropes, why take a bad shot like that as you take a look at the offensive rebound by Langevine? I mean, he's one of the greatest rebounders in Rhode Island history. I mean, just an absolute animal on the boards. He leads Atlanta 10 in rebounding right now.
Yeah, he's averaging 10.7. He has 7 rebounds in this first half.
He's 18th in the country in offensive rebounds a game. He's getting about 3.5 a game.
Ball's deflected by Russell with some quick hands. One-on-one with Curry. He'll go right to the basket. It's no good, but a foul is called. Martin was hoping there wasn't a foul call because he jammed it home.
I just love Russell's fearlessness. He has no fear. You take a look at the steal, one of the top steal guys in the Atlantic 10, second in the Atlantic 10, but he just doesn't quit. He puts so much pressure on you because of his three-point shot, because of his quickness, and he can elevate around the rim. Special player.
Yeah, his steals are third most in college basketball as he made the first free throw. Born on May 6, 1998, his name is Darren Russell, but he's been called Fats his whole life. The nickname was given to him by his mom because, well, he was a chubby baby. Who wasn't a chubby baby?
Why you got to do that? To do it to the man like that, Tom? Jeez. Unbelievable.
Well, he has 3 steals already today. We said he's third in all of college basketball in steals per game. He's already matched his average for a game. The lead is 13. And another turnover. Here's Dowtin. Dowtin got control, got the layup to go. It's 30-15. It's the largest lead of the day for Rhode Island. I think if you're VCU, you're somewhat shocked because you only have 15 points.
No question. And nothing's come easy, but you automatically have to give credit to Rhode Island's defense.
Yes.
It's been ultra efficient and patient.
Williams putting on a dribbling show, and now he gives up his dribble.
You are right. VCU looks very unsure of what to do in the half court.
The shot clock's already down to 5. Curry trying to go to the basket. Langevine. He blocked it, but he blocked it right into the waiting hands of Corey Douglas, who laid it in. He didn't mean to block it into Corey Douglas's hands.
If you're guarding VCU, when in doubt, lay the shot clock. You know they're driving.
Russell cannot get the floater to go. Curry in transition leaves it for Jenkins. Left-handed jam.
Textbook fast break for VCU. What a great pass ahead by Curry. Monster finish by Jenkins.
Well, this capacity crowd, it's the 145th consecutive sellout. They're on their feet trying to will VCU back into this game. It's an 11-point deficit that was 15 just a moment ago. David Cox was telling his team, just relax, we're okay. Martin from way downtown. No good. A rebound is taken out by VCU and Williams heads to the basket and is fouled by Martin. It'll be a 2-shot foul. 30-19, a timeout on the floor. Rhode Island on top 30-19, 3:15 to play in the first half. Coming up on AT&T at the half, Brent Stover, Jameer Nelson, and John Rothstein. are standing by with scores and highlights from around the country. They preview a very busy day on CBS Sports Network, plus first half analysis of this one. Hello, with Mike O'Donnell. I'm Tom McCarthy here at VCU. It's the 145th consecutive sellout. This is the 20th year of the Siegel Center. It's as loud as you'll find in all of college basketball. David Cox sensed that it was getting louder, and he just told his team, listen, relax, calm down, we're okay. In reality, they are okay. Their lead was 15. It's 11. It's still a double-digit lead.
Part of controlling tempo is withstanding a run. And when VCU goes on a run, you don't press the panic button. The best way to kind of eliminate you playing frustrated when a VCU run happens is don't take bad shots.
Right.
Really work on the offensive end and take a good shot, because a bad shot against VCU is just as good as a turnover.
Williams will go to the free throw line for 2. There's 2 of 3 from the line. Makes it a 10-point game.
I'll tell you, for VCU, though, a big problem is that Rhode Island has 20 of their 30 points in the paint. VCU has to do a better job of keeping Rhode Island out of the lane.
Well, Sims will check back in for VCU. Williams will check out. He's played well.
He was a big catalyst for that run. Just brought a ton of energy.
Yeah, defensively. Offensively, not so much, but defensively, definitely.
No doubt.
And now a turnover as Toppin drops it out of bounds. It's a 6-0 run for VCU, and now they can maybe add to that run here. I
really believe that Toppin could have caught that ball, but he saw a trap coming and got a little bit hesitant. And I think that's why he didn't fully commit to that pass.
He was thinking too much?
Absolutely. He was thinking about a trap. And again, that's those unforced turnovers that kind of make you go, you know, how do we get out of this feeling of frustration?
Van, entry pass to Santos-Silva. Evans for 3. It's good from the corner. It's now 30-24.
It's another evolution of Santos-Silva's game is his ability to pass out of the post. That quick little touch pass to Evans.
9-0 run. Van called for the foul. All right, so for Rhode Island, or for VCU, they work in to go out.
Watch how quickly he passes it out. Fats Russell goes to dig at Santos-Silva from ball side. You can't do that, especially against a player like Evans, who is the best scorer for VCU and their best three-point shooter.
Out to the free throw line. Dowtin converts. It's 31-24.
I love Dowtin's game. I mean, Fats Russell is spectacular, but Dowtin's game, he's probably one of the most consistent players in the history of Rhode Island. Actually, you know, talking with the staff, this is his analytical mind is unbelievable. His ability to recall information. Yes. You know, he's Dean's List in the School of Business at Rhode Island, and he can remember plays that happened 2 games ago. He's that intelligent.
David Cox has a really big connection to the D.C. area, and that is what enabled him to help Dowtin get to Rhode Island.
Oh, that was great defense by Langevine. He took that right in the chest, didn't flop, owned the contact. Tough on big fella.
Yeah, Santos-Silva has 7 points. He's had to work for those 7 today. He's missed a couple of easy shots.
It's been Rhode Island's backcourt ball pressure on the VCU guards, just they haven't been able to find it.
That's also called for the traveling violation. It's 9 turnovers for Rhode Island. All right, here's this defense by Langevine.
Now, we talked about good defense for Langevine, but how strong is Santos-Silva? There's not many post players that can move Langevine underneath.
By the way, we just looked at the travel. David Cox didn't think it was. I didn't think it was after looking at it. And here's Marcus Evans, who has 5 points in the last minute and a half. It's 32-26. It's a 6-point game. It was 15 at one point.
When Marcus Evans is clicking on the offensive end, VCU is a top 25 team. He is the key to VCU getting back into that upper echelon on the country.
4.5 to play here in the first half. Langevine with a point guard kind of move. And the foul is going to be called on Langevine. It'll be an offensive foul. Position was had by VCU.
Bad plays are contagious against this VCU defense. This is not Langevine's game. He's not a drive and kick player. Now, he's not to say he's a bad passer, but you don't want him trying to make multiple plays against the defense from the top of the key. Doesn't take much, does it, from
No,
VCU?
it doesn't.
All of a sudden, they're backing in this game. The crowd's electric. Good defense, and Marcus Evans making shots. I'm telling you, that is the key for VCU. If he can start to find a rhythm offensively, I don't know many teams that can really beat VCU.
There he goes again. He maybe forced that one off the screen. It's a 6-point game. Rhode Island with the basketball. Heading toward a minute to play in the first half. Long to the free throw line. Blocked from behind by Evans. Ball is loose. Picked up by Long. Picked up by Santos-Silva. And now Van gets control. Bounce pass to Evans. Cut off by Russell. It's his 4th steal of this half.
If the one player back is 5'10", don't throw a bounce pass at his feet because he's going to get that. You got to go over top the shorter guy.
Rhode Island on top by 6. It'll be Rhode Island's basketball off this timeout. How about this recovery?
When you relax against VCU, you're done. It's over. You can't take a relaxed shot. Evans is coming. And then on the other end, don't throw a bounce pass against one of the best thieves in college basketball. You got to go over top. That's Russell.
Yeah, he's got 4 steals in this first half. Rhode Island's been scoreless from a field goal standpoint in nearly 4 minutes. See Marcus Evans' numbers, 8 points, 3 of 4 from the floor.
When you go through a scoring drought, a lot of times you want to keep it simple. Who's your best scoring threat? It's Fats Russell. Will we see action in the half court right now to get Fats Russell a good look?
About 21 seconds, the difference between shot clock and game clock. That's Russell. He's barking out orders. Up the screen, they get it to Langevine, to the corner. 3-pointer by Dowtin is good. It's 35-26. That's going to quiet things a little bit.
Rhode Island worked on that in practice last night because VCU jumps the ball screen against Fats Russell. Corner threes will be open.
10 seconds to play. Jenkins sweeps it and lays it in.
Tough.
That was a really good finish.
It's a senior play. I mean, just an outstanding drive by
Look how
Jenkins.
fast Russell gets up the floor. Dowtin for 3. No good, and that's the end of the first half.
It's a good look, though, right?
It was a good look.
You got a pretty good look at 3 right at as the buzzer sound. I got to tell you, outside that VCU run, I don't know how much better Rhode Island could have played that first half. A really good game plan by Coach Cox and company.
Well, that bodes well. Rhode Island is 8-0 when leading at the half. This was the tip-in was after the half came to a close. See, Martin got his hand on it, but it's well after the clock went down to 0. David Cox chatting with Les Jones. I think chatting. There's a little bit of a smile.
Langevine's not the type of player that's going to go look for baskets. He's just going to go look for rebounds and plays. And he's more worried about defense and rebounds than he is scoring this game.
All right, so Rhode Island gets the basketball to begin the second half. Fats Russell is still talking to the officials about the traveling call that he had in the first half, which he didn't think was a traveling call. Langevine backs his way in. Low post, spin move. Santos-Silva, not a good shot. Santos-Silva able to get the rebound. Here comes Evans. I say not a good shot. Part of that is because Santos-Silva forced Langevine to the baseline a little bit more.
And he's even a better defender this year than he was last year. Really worked on his conditioning and speed in the offseason.
You're going to call that a pass? Santos-Silva should have made that shot. That's about his 3rd, 4th that he's missed inside.
Yeah, he seems to be a little off around the rim. Very strange.
And Martin for 3. He cans it from the left wing. And it's back to a 10-point lead for Rhode Island. VCU quickly in the offensive ends. Evans, Jenkins was good in the first half. He'll fire a 3. It's no good. Rebound Langevine. He's on the doorstep of double digits in rebounds. In fact, that is number 10. It's his 8th game with 10 or more rebounds. 39th in his career. Russell, pull-up jumper from 17 off the side of the iron. Harris has it knocked out of bounds. Touched last by VCU.
And I'm okay with that shot from Russell, but as you take a look at the drive and kick, I think for most Rhode Island fans, if you said Fats Russell only had 7 points in the first half and said you were winning, you'd be crazy,
yeah.
right? But that's just a sign of his maturity that I don't think he took one bad shot in that first half. His decision-making's been really good.
Martin heads to the basket off the side of the backboard. That's the second shot off the side of that backboard in the second half for Rhode Island. And leads it by 10. The steal by Dowtin. Dowtin trying to race his way to the basket. Lays it in. It's good. Van had to let him go. It's a 12-point game.
How good has Dowtin been this game? 13 points for the senior. Mr. Ultra Efficient for Rhode Island.
And I think that his numbers offensively are down this year. I mean, considering he's averaging about 11 per game. Russell's are up, his are down. And there's Evans with the turnover and a timeout called by VCU. Well, they have an active winning streak going, but the combination of Dowtin and Russell are trying to stop that winning streak here today.
You kind of wonder, could this be a turning point game for Rhode Island? Because they've been on the cusp of being a really, really good team. And if Fats Russell isn't knocking down shots, Jeff Dowtin can be that next guy to step up and make shots when Rhode Island has to make them. Russell's going to make the huge play. Dowtin's going to make the right play.
I think it's kind of interesting because it may have been reversed the last year or so, because Dowtin was the guy from a scoring standpoint.
Sometimes
it still is.
It depends on the game, though.
That's true.
That's Russell. When he gets going, he can give you 40. I had that game last year.
He had 41 points.
It was absurd. It was absolutely bonkers. It was like he was playing in the park. It was awesome to watch.
17:40 to play here in the second half. Rhode Island is led for a majority of this game in one way, shape, or form. 5 on the shot clock. Russell's pull-up jumper over Evans is good from 16 off to the left.
There's a lot of Nate Robinson and Fats Russell's game. That fearlessness, the ability to make a big shot and elevate over the defender.
I'm going to go back a few years. He reminds me a lot of Greg Grant. If you remember Greg Grant.
Yeah.
Diminutive, but fast, and he could jump. Marcus Evans, 18-footer, no good up front of the rim. Santos-Silva has it knocked away. Martin pulls it off the floor. That's Russell. Speeds into the open floor and doesn't get the roll. Santos-Silva with the rebound. Jenkins goes right to the rim, sweeps in and gets the torque off the hoop.
I love how smooth Jenkins is. He just glides. He's got that long wingspan.
And he's controlled.
Speaking of control, that is a great play by Fats Russell, not forcing a bad shot. Pull it out, run your offense.
Dowtin hedged out to the corner. Russell open for 3. Got it. He was left wide open, and that was an easy shot for Fats Russell.
Van fell down, and he looked like he may have slipped on a wet spot there. Too much room, make you pay.
12 points, second 3 of this half. For Rhode Island, VCU had 2 threes in the first half. That's it. Santos-Silva along the baseline, reverses his field. Ball is cut off. Here comes Dowtin. Bounce pass to Martin. His layup is no good. Evans with the rebound. I'm tired just watching these guys love to go.
I'm fired up. It's giving me energy. What's the matter with you, Tyler? Come on, man. This is great.
45-30. This match is the largest lead of the day for Rhode Island. Jenkins, Sims for 3. He was hitting those during shoot around, and he hits that one. It's only the 3rd three-pointer of the day for VCU.
It's been lights out in practice, shooting really well in practice. They've been waiting for him to catch fire.
45-33. Martin goes right to the rack. He doesn't get the shot to go down. Santos-Silva with a rebound. Van takes the outlet, heads toward the hoop, tries to draw contact, does, and he'll go to the free throw line. That foul is going to be called on Jermaine Harris.
Grant Miller is the truth, by the way, for
College
Charleston. I think he's a pro. Probably be a mid to late second-round pick in the NBA draft. Have an opportunity to call one of his games earlier this season. And, I mean, he's probably the most underrated scorer in all of college basketball.
Well, there you see the home active winning streaks. Gonzaga at 32. VCU now at 21, which is number 2. Kansas lost to Baylor earlier today on CBS, 67-55. So, Prairie View has gotten themselves into the top 3. All right, so if you're Mike Rhodes, your team is down 12. You haven't really shot all that well. This timeout, what does it afford you? What does it give you? What are some of the things he told his team coming out of this break?
You're fixing your defense first. I actually think, believe it or not, that VCU is taking too many chances in the half court. I'm okay with taking chances in the full court. I think they're giving Dowtin and Russell too many opportunities to drive and make plays. I really think it was tighten up that half-court defense and force Rhode Island into shooting contested shots.
Well, that's the first bucket of the day for Van, who averages 6.5. The transfer from Maine. Here's the second shot, 85% from the free throw line. He cans the second one. He'll check out. Highland will check in. Ben has 979 career points. Many of those points came at the University of Maine before he transferred. A little pressure. Not as many traps from VCU. And Dowtin dribbled it off the foot of himself or of Marcus Evans, and they'll call a timeout.
That's a rare thing for Jeff Dowtin to make. That wasn't a forced play by VCU. It was just more of a decision by Dowtin. Tried to turn the corner, went off the foot, picked it up. Again, how many players, though? I mean, that may seem really simple, but it's so... Possessions are at a premium against VCU. You pick up the ball and you call the timeout. As you take a look at Dowtin, has made some really big plays. The sweeping left hook. He's had a couple of steals this afternoon that have been, it's not just team defense, it's just been Jeff Dowtin making a play on the basketball. And then his ability to knock down the outside shot is what really makes him a great senior player and an awesome compliment to Fats Russell.
The steals have been a big storyline today for Rhode Island because Russell has 4, Dowtin has 1. There's 7 overall for Rhode Island, and he's already reached come close to his season average in points.
Dowtin's consistency is not just offensively shooting shots. I mean, he's got 4 games this year. He plays about 33 minutes a game. He's got 4 games of 0 turnovers as the primary ball handler.
That's Russell. His hand checked by Highland. They'll call a foul on the floor. That's the first team foul for VCU. Shot clock at 20.
That's one of the reasons why Fats Russell is averaging almost 20 points a game. Is because in the second half, when you start getting into bonus play for free throws, it's just hard to corral him, and then he puts so much pressure on you, he's going to get 6-7 points at the free throw line almost every game.
Were you that kind of guy? Could you get the free throws at the end of games?
Listen, I am the tortoise compared to the hare that is Fats Russell. There's no chance I play like he did.
Wow, how about that shot by Martin? There was traffic. He shot it when he was coming down. It's 45-35. 47-35, excuse me. Rhode Island on top. Jenkins off the glass with the answer. It's back to a 10-point game.
Jenkins has been that other bright spot for VCU. His activity around the rim has been special this afternoon.
He's got 11 points. Martin trying to help the answer again. This one too strong off the glass. Harris with the rebound. Put back too strong. Second put back no good. Langevine tries to take control of it. And we've got a jump ball, and the possession goes the other way.
Kind of a young play by Jermaine Harris. You want to pound that dribble, go up and dunk it. If you're going to break the press that easy, you've got to finish with a layup or a dunk. And Jermaine Harris, that has to be a dunk.
Check your towel.
Well, here you go. Here's Tyrese Martin a couple of possessions ago. How about that? He's on his way down.
Smooth. He's been just ultra smooth this afternoon.
VCU down 10 with the basketball. 14-15 to play in the second half. Williams, peek back door, nothing was there. Highlands, edged out by Harris. Shot clock at 10. Highland to the basket. Rebound by Martin. Martin, he lost control. Highland picks his pocket. And the freshman peeking. Jenkins heading to the rack. His layup is no good. Martin with another rebound. Here comes Russell on the opposite end. The burst is no good, and VCU with the rebound. Russell thought there was a foul. Highland wanted a 3. Instead goes to Williams. Back to Highland. 4-3. Got it!
Highland can knock that down. The freshman shoots almost 40% from the three-point line. Bones making him pay.
That'll will make to Delaware. Seven-point game. Langevine trying to get it deep in. His shot blocked away. Here come the Rams of VCU. Marcus Evans for 3. No good. Langevine with the rebound and the foul called on Williams. It's not often you see Fats Russell miss a layup.
It looked like he got pushed in the back a little bit. I think Highland just tapped his back, and the referee may have missed that. Then on the other end, the excellent dish out. Highland, the freshman, smooth-looking stroke from 3. It only takes one play, right? If they're going to knock down a 3, on the other end for Rhode Island, You might want to slow it down.
Dowtin will go right to the basket. He cut from one side of the floor to the other and laid it in.
Or you could say, shut up, Mike. I know the right play to make.
Everybody thought he was going to pass it to one of the wings. Jenkins bumped on the floor by Martin. That'll be his second foul. Look at Dowtin. I mean, everybody thought he was going to be a distributor.
Well, and he is a distributor by trade. He's the 4th best assist man in all of Rhode Island. He's the 4th most assists in Rhode Island history. I mean, that's usually your driving and dishing. I mean, that's Dowtin's game, but he also knows how to win. I mean, he's a senior. He's been in this position before.
He has 15. Williams, little high-low with Douglas. Good catch, little push. Doesn't matter, lays it in.
I think you and I both really like Corey Douglas's game. I mean, he's a really athletic post. Brings great energy off the bench.
And now Dowtin to the midcourt for Martin. David Cox is on the floor. He's like an extra player as he coaches his team. Martin hedged out. Shot clock at 10. And a carry called on Martin. Trying to stir a little bit here at the Siegel Center.
I've been waiting for it. I've heard about it. I've read about it. Watched it on TV. Starting to feel the Siegel Center really pumping right now.
12 turnovers. Martin will take a seat. They've got Highland, the freshman, Williams, the sophomore, in the backcourt for VCU. Curry's also a sophomore. Jenkins, a senior, and he's fouled on the floor going up. Rhode Island leads at 49-42 with 11:55 to play. Here in the second half, Rhode Island had a 15-point lead in the second half, but VCU has made some adjustments. They've gotten some turnovers, and they've gotten some easy baskets as well.
They're knocking shots down, shooting almost 42% in the second half compared to 32% in the first half. They're being more efficient on the offensive end, really led by Jenkins. He had that kind of semi-transition layup that you and I were both said, wow, what a play. And it kind of really catapulted this VCU team in the second half.
One thing about VCU, Mike Rhodes told us the other day, said we haven't backed down from anybody.
No.
We've had some tough losses against some really good teams and some missed opportunities, but we have taken care of a lot of things in our non-conference schedule. We have one of the hardest schedules, and they do.
No bad losses. You got that quadrant 1 good win against LSU. You drop games versus Purdue, Tennessee, Wichita State. That's it. There's no bad losses in that mix. They've probably been challenged the most, if not the second most. I think maybe Dayton has a comparable non-conference schedule, but
and that's good for the league.
No question.
That folks like Dayton and VCU, you know, you're scheduling well outside your conference. Jenkins missed one, made one. He'll check out.
Not easy to do that, though. I mean, like, you know, if you're Purdue, you're Tennessee, why would you want to play VCU in the non-conference? It's not like you just pick up the phone and say, hey, do you have a game? It's not how it works. I mean, you almost have to sell yourself on really playing in those games because you need those quadrant 1 games. Yeah,
I think the A-Tech should be very happy with the way their non-conference has gone. Russell is fouled as he goes quickly to the basket.
And this is where Rhode Island can slow the game down and really kind of keep the gas pedal going forward at the same time. As if Fats Russell can continue to get to the free throw line, an excellent free throw shooter, 85%, gets a huge chunk of his points at the line.
Yeah, second in free throw percentage. First free throw is good.
And he went home over the summer to Philly. And Coach Cox said he just lived in the gym. He didn't leave it. He just kind of one of those, I'll eat my meals in the gym, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Worked on a shot, watched a ton of film on himself to understand patience and pace. And it has absolutely benefited him in this season.
Well, 26 points off the bench. Didn't start the last game. It's partly because he had struggled offensively. Now, David Cox was trying to ignite his team, just as he did with Jeff Dowtin earlier in the season, but he didn't start him in the second half of the game. Highland for 3 left sideline. He doesn't get the bounce. The ball is tipped around. Dowtin with the rebound. Outlet pass to Langevine. Heading to the basket. Blocked from behind. Picked up by Russell. To Harris. Extra pass to Toppin. And Toppin along the baseline. No good. Williams takes out the rebound.
bad shot by Rhode Island. You get an offensive rebound, run your offense, make VCU work. Good extra pass.
Yeah, Island does not convert the three. Ball is loose. Picked up by Dowtin. A battle for the loose ball as Williams went over the back of Dowtin, and he's going to be called for the foul for VCU.
99% of the time, first person to dive on the floor first, good things happen. You're getting the jump ball, you're getting the steal, you're getting the timeout, or you're getting the foul call. Dowtin was the first to the floor. Possession is more important than the dribble. Love that. How about this block?
Yeah.
There are no easy shots against VCU. There's just none. You think you got a wide open layup, dunk, jump shot, they're coming for you.
Well, that's a big dude in Langevine. Now, he's only made one field goal in this game, but he's a big dude, too, going up. Rhode Island's lead is 8, 51-43. Dowtin and Russell, two-man game out front. Dowtin was looking for the screen. Now moves to his left. Little spin move. Ball is knocked away, and the steal by VCU.
Just fantastic defense by Marcus Evans, playing hard without fouling, moving his feet. Awesome.
Yeah, the big man Douglas was there too. Highland covered by a big man out front. Now covered by Langevine. Not much of an advantage. Evans with the shot clock at 10. Bumped up by Harris. That's number 4 on Harris. That's a big deal.
That's huge. Harris is that extra anchor in the paint for Rhode Island. As you can see the ball screen, that is an easy call for the referee. Silly foul by Jermaine Harris.
And Makai Long will check in. The freshman from Bishop McNamara in Maryland. Van will inbound.
The last thing you want is with 5 minutes left to play, VCU's in the bonus, and they can go to the free throw line and then set up their press. That is the last thing you want if you're Rhode Island.
Sims three-pointer rims out. Rhode Island has a lead of 8. It was at 15 at one point. Russell bumped out front.
That's a ton of contact, and Russell took 2 hits to the face.
And right to the basket. Roll is no good. Rebound by Santos-Silva.
He's hurt. Russell's hurt.
Santos-Silva with 10 rebounds, and it leads to the three-pointer. 51-46.
What a gutsy shot by Marcus Evans, the senior. That's who you want making big plays.
Evans with 10. 2 of 6 from beyond the arc. Let's see if Rhode Island can answer. They've answered for most of the day. Under 10 to play. Langevine blocked away by Santos-Silva. Picked up by Dowtin. Shot clock at 4. It didn't reset. Shot clock at 2. No good. Langevine still on the floor. And now a timeout called. This may be one where they're going to have to look at it also.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened, but he's clearly grabbing his face.
And now he's up. I think he was startled somewhat when there was contact made. They are going to look at it as they normally do. I don't think there was anything there. I think it was just our defense. Oh, right there. Evans fell on top of him there.
But totally inadvertent, though. I mean, that's just 2 players trying to make a play at the basketball.
I think David Cox would like them to look at it. See, right here, there's nothing there. And then right here, boom.
Yeah, that's
when Evans went down on him.
That's right. Inadvertent. 2 players trying to make a play. Sometimes you get hit in the nose or the eye, and it just kind of, your eyes start watering, and it kind of takes the breath away from you.
Langevine only has 2 points. He's been a hard worker rebounding-wise. Santos-Silva wants it. Jenkins has it for 3. It doesn't hit the rim. Sims with the rebound. Ball is knocked out of bounds. It remains VCU ball.
A lot of contact there, Tom.
Yeah, I don't know if there should have been a foul called on Walker.
I'm a little surprised. They had Santos-Silva. There's a lot of contact on the arm.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised they didn't go inside of Santos-Silva. He had position coming off that cross screen. I don't know why they turned it down.
Shot clock remains intact. It's at 14. Winds down to 10. Under 9 to play. Santos-Silva away from the basket. Curls into the hoop. He loves that hook shot. It's a beauty. It's the closest VCU has been since it trailed by 3 with 10:48 to play in the first half. It's a 3-point game. You don't think this place has a heartbeat? Russell for 3. Open, no good. Rebound loose. Jenkins has it. Long has it. Saves it into the hands of Toppin. And now David Cox says to Fat Russell, slow it down. Calm down.
I think the most impressive thing about the VCU fan base is that they have a basketball IQ too. They cheer when they know that VCU needs to go on a run, not just when they are on a run.
Russell fadeaway jumper, too strong. Sims with the rebound. Rhode Island's 0 for its last 7 from the floor. 3-point game. Jenkins gives up the shot. Sims. Shot fake for 3. No good. Rebound by Toppin. He wanted the foul. Sims did, but he wasn't going to get it.
This isn't a great scoring lineup for Rhode Island. You've only got Fats Russell in the game that is kind of that legitimate scoring threat. And you got Martin on the floor too, but he's not your go-to scorer.
And he's cooled off since the first half.
Yeah.
He's out of his rhythm that he had. And a foul called inside on Sims. 51-48. A peek at our AT&T game summary. It's 51-48. Rhode Island is on top. Rhode Island 13 turnovers, but only 3 in the second half, so they've taken care of the ball a little bit better.
I think also the impressive thing is Rhode Island has 15 points off of VCU's 10 turnovers. It's kind of a little bit in reverse of what we're used to seeing from VCU. Card has definitely flipped this afternoon.
Well, and you talk about flipping. Rhode Island's shooting percentage is down. VCU's is up, and that's why this game has gone from 15 to now 3. Rhode Island has not scored in the last 4 minutes and 20 seconds. The inbound with a fresh 30 off this timeout. 1 for their last 13.
I think was really only 2 bad shots that Rhode Island took in the first half. You know, where VCU makes you speed up and take a bad shot. There's about 5 or 6 shots in the second half that Rhode Island has taken that I would consider bad shots because they were forced because of VCU's pressure.
Langevine only has 1 bucket. He's going to call for a traveling violation. He was open if he had just continued without the extra spin.
Just one of the knocks on his game. He does so many things well, from defending to rebounding. He's even a good passer, but his footwork always still needs a little bit of adjustment.
Well, again, a 3-point game. Jenkins off the screen, bumped into by Santos-Silva. Silva wanted the ball. Van cut off baseline. Van tries to sweep it up top to Santos-Silva, who's bumped. He just throws it up, and it doesn't go in, but he'll, I believe, nope, they're going to inbound the basketball. Langevine called for the foul.
That's a really good trap by Rhode Island, and then the loose ball foul. That's a tough one. That's one when you're Coach Cox, you're not overly upset about because you're trying to make a play on the ball.
All right, so here's the field goal percentage. We were talking about how it's dipped for Rhode Island, and it's gone up, but not a whole lot for VCU, but enough. Well, Rhode Island is 1 for its last 14.
Rhode Island is taking bad shots in this half, and that's why ultimately VCU has been able to climb back into this game.
Evans will inbound to Santos-Silva, hands it right back to Evans. Outside to Van. Van heads to the basket, off the glass, no good. Santos-Silva with the putback, the offensive board. It's a 1-point game. Sixth double-double of the year for Santos-Silva. It's been a quiet double-double.
And I think he's okay with that. He's okay with doing the dirty work. I'd like to go inside more, though, Tom, if I'm VCU to him.
Dowtin has his ball blocked away, but Walker's there to clean it up and lay it in. It's a 3-point game.
We'll talk about a much-needed bucket. Big time play. Holy smokes.
Nearly 5 minutes since the last field goal for Rhode Island. 6 minutes left to play in the second half. Jenkins heads to the basket. Pass is cut off. Dowtin into the open floor. Running with Toppin and Martin. Has it knocked away by Williams, out of bounds. And they're going to call a foul on Williams.
it is interesting to see how much VCU is getting beat on the full court. Whether it's a long rebound or a loose ball or a steal, Rhode Island seems to be taking advantage of really VCU's kind of remedy that they've been utilizing throughout the course of the season. Dowtin's been a really big catalyst for them.
You saw Williams, number 10. He's the one that came in with the arm. 4 fouls now for him. Dowtin to the free throw line. 2 for 2 today, 15 points. 3 for 3.
You know, when you've got a player like Fats Russell, who is not as much as last year, but always looking to make really, really big plays, it always helps when your senior has the 12th best assist to turnover ratio in the country, you know? And that's Jeff Dowtin, just super consistent.
Over 1,200 points now. He came in with 1194. He's got over 1,200 with today's game. The lead is 4 for Rhode Island. They've led for most of this day.
I'd want to go inside here. I want to feed the big fella, Santos-Silva.
He's setting screens all over the place. Van didn't look. Evans, he's looking up, off the screen. Shot clock under 10.
Nice kick.
Sims up top for Van for 3, off the front of the rim. Rebound pinballs around, and Martin with the rebound.
Nothing wrong with that possession. That is a really good offensive possession for VCU. Just missed the shot. I think if you're Coach Rose, you're really happy with that. Extra pass, got the defense shifted.
We enter the 5-minute mark here in the second half. Little weave up top for Rhode Island. Shot clock is under 10. Tough spot for Dowtin. Shot clock at 5. Shot clock now at 3. Couple jab steps, and he's fouled by Evans.
Got it. I saw it. I'd love to see a replay on that, but it certainly looked like Dowtin got hit on the forearm. So take a look. Evans has been so good defensively this afternoon.
Yep,
and you got the touch on the elbow. Evans has had to guard Dowtin and Russell back and forth, and has done a superb job all afternoon. Just it's a spinning elbow of Dowtin.
Well, Dowtin just made a couple free throws. Let's see what he does here. Makes this one. He made a couple. Then his last trip, he made one, missed one. Now he makes this one here. Fats Russell back in. Meanwhile, for VCU, Van will take a seat. Jenkins checks back in. Second shot by Dowtin. It's good. He's got 18 points. And now it's back to a 2-possession game. Santos-Silva against Langevine. He thought about that hook shot, instead goes to Sims. Layup is no good. Loose ball out of bounds. And a foul is going to be called on Langevine.
I just think kind of the nitty-gritty time of this game, right? It's under 5 minutes. Good things happen when Santos-Silva touches the ball in the post, especially within 5-6 feet of the rim, because he's not just going to make a play around the rim himself. He's a gifted passer in 4 or 5 feet from the rim.
Shot clock at 20.
You got him, missed him again.
Yeah.
He was open again.
Jenkins from 17. He was leaning in, but the bucket is good. 56-52. I think Jenkins has been impressive today. It's 14 points.
Been really good. Been outstanding, especially in the second half. Huge catalyst coming out of halftime.
Dowtin's able to break the press. Good vision. He and Russell up top. Martin in the corner. 2 big men, Langevine and Walker, in for Rhode Island. Rhode Island's lead is 4. Dowtin to the corner for Martin, and a blocking foul is called on Santos-Silva. It's a 4-point game. It's still in the balance. Fats Russell came back in about a minute or so ago. He's cleaning up the floor from the cheerleaders.
Taking a look at the fouls as well. VCU is in the bonus. Rhode Island needs one more foul for them to be in the bonus. And with 4 minutes left to play, free throws, Tom. It's cliche for a reason.
Dowtin gets the front end of the 1-and-1 to go down, so he'll get a second shot. He's extended the lead to 5, trying to make it 6. He's able to do it. 4 20-point games this season for Jeff Dowtin. He's 6 of 10 from the floor, 20 points overall. Douglas, the handoff to Jenkins. High screen set for Evans. Douglas with a slight hesitation. Ball is stolen away and a foul called on Highland. I think Highland had a foul there, but because Russell would have been an easy pass to the basket, but still, you're still sending him to the free throw line.
I think it's a great point by you, Tom. You know, I think really what you don't want is to give up a layup, but what you really don't want is to give Fats Russell any type of breather at the free throw line, where he's one of the best free throw shooters in the Atlanta 10. That is a freshman mistake. I know what he's trying to do, trying to stop the transition, but he's got 2 guys back.
Yeah, Evans was back, and that's the key.
I think it comes down to trusting your teammates, right? As a freshman, if you understand, not that he just doesn't trust his guys, but learning to have faith on the court in your system, knowing that someone's going to be back to help you out.
59-52, Russell, second free throw. It's good. He's 6 of 6 from the free throw line. In fact, he and Dowtin combined are 13 of 14.
He's got 16 points, and it's a quiet night for Fats Russell.
Evans for 3, may have forced that, and the rebound by Russell. Well, VCU worked hard to get this back to a one-possession game, and now all of a sudden it's an 8-point lead for Rhode Island, despite the fact that URI has won for its last 9 for the floor.
A couple bad shots by VCU. I'll go back to it. Good things happen when you go inside to Santos-Silva. I'd want to run my offense through him in this last 3 minutes.
He comes up the hedge on Russell. Walker heads to the basket. He had some daylight and he lays it in. He took a real big step and was able to get to the hoop. It's a 10-point game again.
Walker has not made a 3, and he pump faked and got the defender flying. That's a scatter report.
Hey, look at this. This is a beautiful drive by Antoine Walker.
Why would you jump at a player who hasn't even taken a 3-pointer? That's a beautiful step through play
Really
by Antoine Walker. Good-looking sophomore, Georgetown transfer.
Evans misses the free throw. All right, so it's an easy story to tell. Rhode Island is making free throws, and Evans just missed that one. Makes the second one. 62-53. You got Dowtin now and Russell, and the steal by Evans. Outside for Highland, and Highland's pass to Jenkins goes right into the bench of VCU.
Well, you'll go right back to double fist for VCU. Double fist is their call for the full court pressure. That was, quite honestly, a lazy pass by Martin, and Highland trying to make a play. Again, that's the kind of second bad play in a row. And that's not what Coach Rhodes wanted right there.
2:43 to play. Evans will send Dowtin back to the free throw line.
It's a 3rd foul on Evans. Keep that in mind if VCU needs to foul to claw back into this, and Evans is usually guarding Dowtin or Russell, your 2 primary ball handlers.
Dowtin today 7 of 8 from the line, and he rings that one out.
But you love that right there. Evans, the senior, talking to Highland, the freshman, about here's the plays that we got to make. Calm down. There's still a lot of time left. When you're VCU, when you press, when you play havoc, you're never truly out of the game.
Second shot is good. Dowtin says, my fault. Rhode Island's on a 7-1 run. It's a 10-point game. 2:35 to play. Highland covered by Dowtin. Jenkins leaves it for Evans. Highland for 3, and it's good. It rattles home. That'll loosen the freshman up a little bit.
I was going to say, that'll make up for that 1 turnover. Great shot by Highland.
63-56. Rhode Island able to break the press. Two minutes left. Shot clock at 7. Martin heads to the basket, sweeps in and lays it in.
How smooth was that, Tom?
Beautiful. 65-56. Hey, every time VCU does something, Rhode Island's there to answer. Evans into the paint, pull-up jumper, short, rebound. Santos-Silva slips it out to Highland for three again, off the side of the backboard, and the ball is out of bounds. Last touch by Rhode Island. It'll be VCU basketball with 15 on the shot clock.
And take a look at this up and under. I mean, that is poetry in motion.
It sure is.
My goodness. Martin's been superb this afternoon.
He had an excellent first half. Highland cut off by Russell. Shot clock's at 5. Tough pass to Santos-Silva. Shot clock's at 2. Highland off the screen, just throws it up, and it's no good. Alternate possession will give the basketball to Rhode Island. And the ball gets stuck between the rim and the backboard. It's an alternate possession.
It's called a wedgie, Tom, in the park.
It's called a wedgie in the park.
You didn't have. I'm a little surprised you dropped the ball on that one, Tom.
A wedgie.
That is a lack of awareness by your freshman.
Yeah.
You know, it says a lot that Coach Mike Rhodes has his freshmen out there in a crunch time situation like this. But these are always learning opportunities and things that he's going to have to understand and grow. And yeah, ultra talented.
Russell, little hesitation, sweeps it in. Langevine tried to jam it home, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Rhode Island. With 57.8 to play. 65-56, 3-possession game. I say that VCU has made 6 threes tonight. Jenkins. Is it for Williams? Williams separation. Short. Jenkins rebound. Baseline jumper. No good. Santos-Silva outside for Evans. Open for 3. It's short also. Out of bounds. It'll be Rhode Island basketball. 41.1 to play. 9-point game. How do you approach this if you're VCU? I mean, we talked about the keys early on in this game, and I think some of it has come to fruition.
No question about it. I thought initially they did a really nice job on Fats Russell, but in the second half, he's just chipped away at free throws. And if you're VCU, you have to get a 3 quickly on that last possession in order to, you'd want to foul, extend the game. But if you don't make a shot that last possession, there's not much you can do.
Yeah, they're certainly not extending the game here.
Nope.
They're just letting Rhode Island just run some clock down. Russell's 3 is no good. Rebound is taken by Evans. 13 seconds left. Stolen from behind by Walker. Russell will just dribble it out, and that's it. VCU's home winning streak will come to a close as Rhode Island has come south and has won it by a final score of 65-56. Kansas's home winning streak ended today by Baylor. VCU's home winning streak, second longest after the Kansas loss, ends today to Rhode Island by a final score of 65-56. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Gonzaga in their next home game, but they're in trouble.
Anarchy? Nope. It's just college basketball. The immortal words of John Rothstein.